Hi, how are we doing? Welcome to another installment of Brews and Views. Today we're going to continue with the series about childhood trauma and toxic traits. So we're on to number 3, and that is the fear of vulnerability versus the need for intimacy. So what sort of traits are we looking at here? So we're looking for people who are avoiding vulnerability and the emotional closeness, yet yearning that deep connection and intimacy. Now, here's a quote for you. Vulnerability sounds like the truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they are never weakness. Vulnerability is a birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. So, what are you looking for when you're looking to try and spot those contradictions? So you're looking for signs of emotional walls, or people who are sort of like blocked out, and not getting too happy, not getting too sad, and when moments of joy are present. So they have difficulty expressing their emotions and fear of truly being seen for who they are. So they'll put on a mask, it might be laughter, it might be, depression, it can be all sorts of things masquerading as something else, simply just to avoid that level of connection. Now, what causes this? Now, some of these will be obvious, but we're going to go into it. Past experiences, negative past experiences such as betrayal, rejection, emotional harm, they create fear and of being vulnerable amongst people, and especially if it's going on for some time or the hurt was very severe. When people have been hurt in the past and they develop fear of opening up, and they are being emotionally exposed and being hurt again. So another one is fear of judgment. The fear of being judged and criticised by others can also contribute to a fear of vulnerability. People may worry about how people think about that, and maybe use those vulnerabilities against them, and feel like it's a lose-lose situation. By opening up, that people are going to remember that, and you're going to start pointing fingers and whatnot. I guess along with that comes a low self-esteem. So those individuals who fear being vulnerable tend to be a little less confident than some other people, and simply have a low view on themselves, and they may feel inadequate, unworthy, and unworthy of love and unworthy of acceptance for what or who they are. And that fear can lead them to resist being vulnerable to protect the self-image and whatever image they're trying to portray. And it is sad. But if you are aware of somebody who's in that situation, or maybe you are, there's a bit of advice for you that you can help in the support of improving your outlook or their outlook. So if I was going to help somebody, what would I do? Okay, I'm going to create a safe space where there's not going to be any judgment. I'm going to make it clear to that person whatever they say to me is going to be held in strict confidence, and I'm going to assure them that any thoughts and feelings of the vulnerabilities, and I will respect them, show empathy, and will not judge or criticize what they have to say. What I might also then do is lead by example. So by sharing my own thoughts and feelings, whether it be in a one-to-one basis or whether I do it on my social media account, I'm also normalizing the fact that whatever you perceive me as, whether a boxer, a personal trainer, a strong person, a weak person, whatever it is that you perceive me to be as, I'm opening up and giving you little bits of my life, and showing you that it's okay to be a little bit vulnerable, and it doesn't make you a weak person for doing so. And in fact, it empowers you in those instances. And anybody that thinks otherwise isn't really worth time and attention. I've also been quoted to be quite a good listener, but you have to use active listening if you're trying to help somebody, and that doesn't mean waiting for your time to talk. Rather, it means that you'll validate that person's feelings, and you give them your undivided attention. It means putting your phone away. It means giving good eye contact and showing a genuine interest in what that person has to say. And and validating them by acknowledging and empathizing with their experience. You may be able to link it to something that you've experienced before, but that isn't the most important part. What is important is that you are actively trying to get a connection with that person. You need to also be patient and gentle, and just recognize that that people are wanting to share something that they're not overly comfortable with, and they may think that you or I am a person who's going to use that against them. So you need to allow them to put it in their own words, and allow them to say it how they want to say it. Don't put words in their mouth. Don't pressure them to put and to disclose information that they aren't ready to yet do it. That maybe I would save that for another time. You know, a little bit of progress is better than jumping too far ahead and then it stops and then there's no progress. So a little bit at a time is what I would expect. Encouragement and praise go quite a long way, and in people's efforts, and as they're making those little baby steps as well. Sometimes there'll be bigger steps, sometimes there'll be smaller steps, sometimes there'll be no steps, but the fact that someone's turned up and someone's opened up a little bit, you're just going to continue to motivate them and keep them to open up. Respecting the boundaries, again, you sort of set that out from the get-go, and if you feel like you're pushing too much, and they feel like you're pushing too much, then you back off a little bit. You know, don't push them beyond what they're comfortable and ready to share, because again, I would break that connection with you by accident, by forcing you to open up too much and create further anxiety. So it's a gradual thing. Build up trust and respect the boundaries, and that way, you know, it's a two-way thing, where everybody is communicating well. And also, obviously, what I would do as a first aider, a mental health first aider, and mentor and life coach, I would obviously encourage professional help if it was needed. If it was significantly impacting things like their daily life, relationships, mental well-being, and encouraging them, you know, to take the route, and then maybe in addition to working alongside with me. But you know, if it's severe, or as I like to say, a chronic mental illness, or a chronic overwhelming problem, then we should be looking to seek professional help. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was of some use to you. We're going to be going into next week. We're going to be looking at people pleasing versus a need for autonomy. So I'm looking forward to getting into that one with you. If you need any help with anything that I've talked about, feel free to contact me. We can go through some sessions that might help you, and we can explore some of your things that you're struggling with. But until next time, you are loved, you are needed, and you're not alone. Thank you very much. Bye for now.